Hello guys, we're going to start our next webinar in 5 minutes. Hello guys, this is Eugene from Oro, and let me welcome you on the third day of OroCommerce training. And today we are going to check another topics, another new features from OroCommerce. But before that, let me remind you what we have checked already. On day first, we have checked what are storefronts and websites and how to work with these entities. We have also checked the customers and customer user roles. On the second day, yesterday, we have seen layouts, we have seen themes, we have seen how to switch them, how to enable, disable them, and how to work with them on a regular basis. And our plan for today is to cover products and master catalog topics and then check the web catalogs. And also in scope of web catalog, we're going to see the difference between the master catalog and web catalogs. And so let us start. So let's start from products. And products, as you can guess, is just a standard entity to represent the product which you can buy or sell in the OroCommerce applications. There are several types of products. They can be simple or configurable. We're going to see those products a little bit later. Products have images. So in scope of the product, you may specify several types of images, and depending on the image you're using, they may have one image for the product listing page, another image for the product details page, and so on. Then products also have measure units, so you can tell how exactly you want to buy or sell them, let's say in boxes, in bottles, in containers, in pallets, and so on. Products have attributes, and attributes is just a sort of the parameter of a product, which you can specify in order to tell customer about the parameter of the products. Product attributes are grouped into families. So families is the group of a product of the same type. And then everything else is stored in our product bundle. And if you really want to, you can always go and check this bundle and check the product entity. We also have here links to the user guide and products lifecycle. So if you're interested, you may always refer to the documentation to see what are products, how application works with them, what is the product's lifecycle, and how to deal with it in the long term. Let us see the product management on the management console and on the storefront. Products are handled, products can be created or edited via the management console. Let me open it. Here in the products menu, we can see a grid of products or a list of products. You may call it any way you like. On the left side, we have a special filter panel where we can show additional information. For example, here we can show the pricing information and the preferred currencies. And we can also filter using the categories. Well, here on the right side, we have a main product grid. So here in the grid, we can see the SKU. So SKU is a unique identifier for product. We can see the default image. We can see the name. We can see the family it belongs to, status, inventory status, and some other fields you may want to put there. Let us try to create some new product. So the first product I'm going to create, I have to specify here the type. For now, let's make it simple. I have only one product family, which is default, and let's say I want to make a headlamp. So here I see the product creation form, and in this form I can, or I have to specify the headlamp. This is the SKU of my test headlamp. Here's the first interesting thing, this URL slug. So this slug which will be used on the storefront in order for application to set the human readable URL and to use it in all storefront pages. Here we have the status. By default, all products are disabled, so they're not visible on the storefront until you will make it enabled. And let's keep it like that for now. Here you have two additional checkboxes, whether its product is featured, whether its product is marked as new arrivals, and again, they slightly affect the visual representation on the storefront. Then you may associate this product with some of the brands. Let's say it will be Acme brand. And here we have the unit of quantity. So unit of quantity is the units which you can use to sell your product. For example, you can sell each in hours, in items, in kilogram, in pieces, and set, and so on. And of course, you can, as a developer, you can add your own units of quantity and they will appear here too. You may have multiple product units. So here we can see the grid with the multiple product units. Here you have a precision. So precision is the number of digits after the decimal point. So basically it has to be 0 for each, but for its sum, if you're selling in kilograms, you may say that it will be 3. It means that we will, for example, we'll be able to buy 3.5 kilo, and basically 3.5 will be rendered as a product quantity. You may also specify a conversion rate. For example, let's say that each product will be converted to some kilogram or vice versa. For example, please. For example, we can say that if we want to sell in kilograms, it means that 1 kilograms mean 5 each of 5 items of this product. There is also a checkbox called sell. It means that this product will be sellable. What does it mean? It means that a customer will be able to see this unit at the storefront and he will be able to use it to buy it. Why and where it can be used. Let's say that you have some very long and very big inventory, and in this inventory you store your items. For example, headlamps, you store them in the separate items, you store them in boxes, you store them in pallets, and you store them in the containers. And user can buy only in items and boxes, while the pallets and container are internal units, which you are not allowing to use on the storefront, but you are still can use on the management console. In this case, for these two items, which you not want to show, pallets and containers, you may do not mark them as sellable. And in this case, customers will not be able to buy it. Here we have additional parameters like tax code, color, material. We'll go to see them a little bit later. Here we have the description for this product. Let's put here some description. So this is a short description, then we have the long description. Here we have a really nice editor, which allows us to put here some value. You may inject here images, you may inject here different blocks, you may use different patterns here, whatever you want to use using this editor. And here we have the image. So this is a place where we can add our image. For now, let's keep it empty. We will return to it a little bit later. Here we have the design, so it tells us how it will be rendered. Here we have some inventory options, we have prices, and we have shipping options. We're going to check all these items one by one during our training, but for now, let's make sure that everything is all right, and let's try to save this product. Product is saved now, but pay attention, so it is still disabled and nobody can find it on the storefront. And if I will go to the storefront, here we can see that product is not found, and in order for us to be able to see it, we have to make it enable. So this is the first requirement which product has to satisfy in order to be searchable, in order to be used at the storefront. Saved. Now let's wait a second or two while the search engine will index the value of this product, and let us try to refresh the page. Yep. And so here is our product. Yes, it's very simple, doesn't have any image, doesn't have any prices. It has a very few details here, but already pay attention that here we have our long description on the product details page, and on the product listing page we have the short description. And despite the fact that it doesn't have any price, we already can add it to the shopping list in order to work with it later. And let us continue. So the next, here we have just seen the simple product, and now we're going to check the configurable product. Configurable product is a special type of the product which may contain of several simple products, which are technically called product variants or custom variations. You may vary a product using the size, using the color, using the different materials, and so on and so on. And configurable product is used as sort of the umbrella or a group for the multiple configurable product variants. There are several prerequisites for the configurable product in order to it to work properly. You have to have an attributes with a type boolean or the select, and these attributes will be used by application to distinguish them and find appropriate value using the combination of these attributes. Pay attention that this combination has to be unique. For example, if you are selling t-shirts, you cannot have 2 red t-shirts, 2 green t-shirts, and 3 blue t-shirts. If you want to do something like that, you have to add additional attribute, for example, size, and then you can have red small t-shirt, red medium t-shirt, blue small t-shirt, blue medium t-shirt, and so on. And we also have a way, several ways to render a configurable product form on the storefront. One of them is the standards dropdown, another one is the matrix grid form. And now we're going to see all these options one by one. So let us start from the definition and the configuration of the configurable product. So I already have created a configurable product for us. This is called tag configurable, which covers 3 simple variations called tag 1, tag 2, tag 3. So this is just medical tags for the hospital, and configurable product is used to combine them together. Now let's have a look at this product. From this page, it doesn't look like something special, but it's better to have a look at the edit page of the product. So first difference from the simple product is this field called configurable attributes. So these are attributes associated to the product family, to the group of this product. And here we can mark them in order for application to use them as a configurable attribute. Next big difference, we have a grid called product variants. So here application can find all the variants which match, which are they have the attributes values for 2 attributes we have selected, which are color and material. And here we can mark them as a checkbox in order to set that, in order to associate them with this current configurable product. I also had here an image, but we'll check it a little bit later. And that's basically everything you have to do in order to have a configurable product. And now let's go to the front end and see how it looks like. So I added to the category called patient notification. And here we have the configurable product. So first the big difference you can see here is that one big block where you can select how many items you want to buy. So this is called matrix grid or matrix form. It allows you to buy several items simultaneously based on the parameters. So for example, by putting that, I'm telling that I want to buy 1 white metal tag, 2 gray metal tags, and 5 silver metal tags. In total, I'm going to buy 8 items. And here I have already pre-calculated price for this configuration for these 8 products. What I have to do, I have to add it to the shopping list, and that will be it. The same can be done from the product detail page. The same grid looks a little bit different, but again, the same 9 items, the same quantities, the same prices. So this is the first way how you can render the quantities or render this drop down here. The second way, you can disable it and use a plain drop downs. In order to do that, you have to go to the system configuration and find here an options called configurable products. And here we have product views, product listings, and shopping lists. So these are 3 different places where this configurable form can be rendered. By default, it's set to the inline matrix form. This is what we have just seen here. We can change it to something else. Let's say on the product view page, we do not want to have it. And on the product listing page, we want to have a pop-up matrix form. So these are 3 options which you can use at this place. And let us see. So here we can immediately see that we do not longer have this item. And now when we click update shopping list, instead of showing it on directly on the product listing page, it will be rendered in the separate pop-up. But still, the idea is the same: the quantity, the price, and the button to update the quantities. And finally, the simplest way is just to use a drop downs here. So this is the third way how you can render your configurable products. Here you can specify the parameters, and then based on these parameters, application will automatically update drop downs, and you can buy or request required amount of items. But in this case, you have to add them one by one. So let's say if I put here silver and metal, application will automatically put here 5, which means that I already have 5 silver metal tags in my shopping list. Then we have one more interesting options about showing or hiding the variations. So if I will go to the patient identification page, which is just show us a grid of the medical tags here, you can see that we are able to see both configurable product, which is called medical tag, and the variations, so the simple products which are hidden inside this configurable product. So here we have tag 1, tag 2, and tag 3, and they're rendered as a separate line items. If you do not want to do that, or if you do, in other words, if you want to hide all the variations and show only the configurable product, you have to go to system configurations, find the configurable product section again, and put here option called display display simple variations to hide completely everywhere. It's saved. Let us refresh the page. And now, as you can see, the products were disappeared here. One more interesting thing, pay attention that here we have filters, filter by color, filter by price, and so on and so on. And I can find my medical tag using the value from the child or associated products. For example, this medical tag does not have a color gray associated to it, but it still can be found because one of its product variation has this value. So this is how configurable products can be found and filterable on the front store grid. And now let us move on. Next thing I would like to talk about is localization. So we have already quickly seen the list of localizations when we talked about the websites, and I hope you remember that we may assign multiple localizations to the storefront, and there we can allow customers to switch between localizations on the storefront to see the page in the required or most appropriate language for the specific customer. And most of the customers prefer to do it like that, well, because if they have native languages, they prefer to use it, obviously. And localizations as a concept unites several parameters. So first, it's a language. It's clear. This is, for example, English, German, French, Russian, and so on. Then it's formatting. So basically, it's locale. In other words, for example, we can say English for the Canada, English for the United States, English for the Great Britain, and so on. And localizations also have hierarchy. So let us say that we have localization called just English, and then we have localizations called English for Canada, English for Great Britain, English for US, and so on. Let us see how it works and how to handle these localizations. Localizations are handled on the management console part. Here, system, localization, localizations. And here we can see a grid of all possible localizations, but if you will pay extra attention, you'll find that they have a field called parent localization. So technically it's not a list, it's a tree. So here we have several parent localization like English United States. It's parent because it doesn't have any other localization, so it's technically a root of a tree. And then we have other localizations which one way or another relate to the, some other parent localization there. If we will try to edit localization, we can see all these parameters here. We can see the name, we can see the title. So title is used on the storefront, name is on the management console concept. We can see the language. So this is one of the available language applications. We can see the formatting, and formatting is the technical locale. For example, English India, English Ireland, English Israel, and so on. And we have parent localization. This field is optional, but in this case, if you will keep it empty, it will be considered as a root localization, and you have to specify a value for it. Now, why do we need this localization? There are many fields in Oro application, in OroCommerce specifically, which can be set per localization. It means that, for example, product may have several names. One name for, let's say, English localization, another way for the German, another way for the French, and so on. And let us have a look. Let me open this product again. Here I have headlamp test. Let me edit it. And here we have a special button which allows us to see multiple values for this field. So currently it has only default value called test headlamp, but we may use fallbacks or do not use fallbacks and specify the custom value for some localization. We have several fallbacks here. So we have default value fallback. It means that this specific localization value will be falled back to the default value. Or we can refer to the parent localization. So let's say that United States localization will be referred to the English localization. Here, for example, we have English Australia, which refers to the English United States, and so on and so on. So basically, by doing that, we are allowing to specify only some key values or important values, and all other localizations will be able to use these key values instead of the manual setting of all values for all localizations. Talking about the products, this localization can be set for the name, for the URL slug. You can also see it for the description. It looks a little bit different, but it's still the localizable values. For the short description, and the long description. And I think that's it. Yeah, we also can set it for the SEO fields, true. The title, with the description, with the keywords, but we're going to see these fields a little bit later. How all this thing is stored and how it's organized on the code level. So technically, we are storing just a simple string or text value. We may also save HTML in case of that editor there. But one way or the other, this is a text information, and each localizable value has to have a default value. Default value is used as a final fallback, so final value which application has to use is none value is specified for any of the localizations. It resolves fallback, and what means basically to go through all the three elements from the specific leaf to the root in order to find first appropriate value. And when this value is found, application will simply use it. Application uses localization helper, so it's a special class we can see a little bit later, in order to resolve this fallback and find appropriate value. The entity is used to store all localizable entities called localized fallback value. And this localized fallback value entity is simply containing the fallback, which can be nullable if the specified value is set directly, the actual value, either string or text, and the relation to the localization. So this is how we are storing this information, and if you want to debug how it works, you can simply go and check it. Let's have a look at the real example, for example, for the product. So here you can see quite a lot of definition, but nothing to worry about. Here, this is just a way to specify a many-to-many relation between the localized fallback value and the specific entity. For example, for our case, it's a product, and we have a product names here. So here you can see many-to-many relation localizable fallback value, because many products may have many localizable fallback values, obviously. And here we can see the standard many-to-many with intersection table called Oro product name. And this table will store information which product will use which localization fallback values. And these are the columns of this intersection table. How to work with the names. So name is a collection, and we have to be able to find an appropriate value for this collection. So we have a couple of methods here. For example, here we have get names, set names, add names, remove names, and so on. And all this is fine, but we do not have a possibility to resolve them or to find appropriate values for appropriate localization. In order to do that, we have to use a class called Localization Helper, which allows us to resolve collection of the fallbacks to get the correct value. So here we have a method called getLocalizedValues, which accepts collection of localizable values, localized fallback values. You can see it here. It may optionally accept the localization which we want to use. If we will not pass localization here, it will simply get the current localization from the storefront. So if you're on the storefront and you do not know what localization application currently set, you can simply skip it and application will get it automatically from the current user. There's also a method to find first not empty localized value, but this one is used only for the fallbacks. Again, if you will need some additional information about how it has to work, you can always refer to the localizable fallback value documentation and see how to do it, how to use it, how to specify it, how to set it, and so on. Then we have product units. We have covered this item already quickly, but let me remind you that product unit may have a precision. So for example, it's number of digits after the decimal dot. Product unit may have a conversion rate. Let's say we want to convert items to kilograms or kilograms to items. So we have to know that, for example, one item is 5 kilograms or vice versa. Product units can be sellable or not sellable. So not sellable are usually the internal units. And there is also a way to enable single unit mode, which means that all products on both on the storefront and on the backend will use only one unit. This single unit mode is nice for some cases, but you have to know that it has to be enabled from the very beginning to make it work. Let me check it. So it's set in system configuration in the product unit section. And here you can see the single unit checkbox, which has to be set. A couple of additional options for the product units. We have default routing type for product units. Again, it does not make sense for the units without decimal dots, but if you're selling, for example, something in kilograms or tons, and you're allowing to buy, for, let's say, 3.5 kilograms of something, then rounding may happen, and you have to know how to round it. And also there is a default primary unit, precision, which you can set, and this value will be used for all products added by the application automatically from UI or via the import or via the API or via any other tool. Then we have product images, finally. Product images is, how you can guess, just a list of images associated to the product. Product images by default attached as an attachments or files in the attachment, which are stored in attachment bundle. And here, Oro is using Clip Imagine bundle from the Symfony community in order to work with it, to work with them, with images, resize them, apply filter the web, and so on. There are three main types of images. It's a main image, this is a listing image, and this is an additional image for gallery. So what's the difference? Main image is used on the product details page, listing products is using on the product listing page, and additional images are used only for gallery. Let us try to assign some images to our product, or just have a look at some existing products and see how does it work. Let me back to the products. I think I had some product with multiple images. Let me check it. I think this is it. Yeah, so here we can see two product images. Here is the first image, and here is the second image. Pay attention that one of them marked as main and one of them marked as listing, and you can mark only one of the images as main and one of the image as a listing. They can be the same, they can be different, no difference here. So let's have a look at the storefront and let's see how this thing works. Let me find this product by the SKU. And so here we can see this image on the product listing page. And if we will turn to the configuration, we can see that this one is marked as listing. This is the listing image. While if we go to the product details page, we can see a totally different image here. This is another one, which was marked as a main. Here you can see main checkbox. And both product listing page and product view page have a gallery. So you can switch between the image. So just have a look at how they work here. Same can be done from the product listing page. You can click magnifying glass icons here and scroll through the images. Application uses only the additional images in the gallery. So for example, if you say, let's say 10 images, but you want to use only 3 in the gallery, you must not mark all the 7 images as additional. On the edit page, it's just a simple radio buttons and the checkboxes. And here you can see that here we have radio button for the main, for the listing, for the additional, and so on. And you, of course, always can add a new image. You can either use existing images from the existing assets. So here we can see the assets. Let me add something new here. Let's say I want to add this image. And I also want to add to the additional. So by doing that, I'm telling that I'm keeping this image as the main one, this image as a listing one, and I also adding one more image which will be rendered in the gallery. Okay, let me save this product. It will take some time for application to resize all the images because application in fact resizes images for every possible size. We have about 8 of them based on for the different pages, for the different use cases. And now let's try to see if it's already was resized. First one, yeah, so we can see this image already here. So now we have 3 images, only one of them is used on the PLP, one of them is used on the PDP. So PLP is the product listing page, PDP is the product details page, and we have one more image added here. What else we can set for the product images? Product images may have a watermarks. It's defined system configuration. There are also actually other options we are going to see. And if you want to set it on the code level, you have to use entities called product image in order to actually associate image with the product and product image type to tell which types, main, listing, or additional, associated with a specific product image. Let's have a look at the system configuration to see what we configure there. So here we have product image section. And first we can enable or disable original file names. So pay attention that every time we're uploading a file, it has its own name, while application will generate a random one. So if you want to keep the original file names, you have to mark this checkbox here. Then we have the product image watermark. So if you want to protect the image and add a watermark, you can do it here. And then there are 2 additional options which tell us whether we are allowing to use image gallery and how it should look like. So this one enables image preview on product listing page, and this one allows you to add pop-up gallery on product view. So in other words, it's just a different way to render your image on the product listing and product view page. And of course, as a developer, you may add new customization options and new checkboxes here in order to adjust product listing, product tail page, and render the image the way you like. Then we have product families. So product families is a groups of product attributes or groups of product parameters, and the product families are used to group a product. So let's say that you are selling t-shirts, you are selling electronics, and you are selling cars. And you may create a product family which will represent each of these 3 groups, and they will have totally different parameters and totally different attributes. For example, if we're talking about the t-shirts, it will be size and color. If you're talking about electronics, let's say it can be type, like a mobile phone, laptop, and so on. If it's on about the car, it can be brand, it can be size, and so on. Product families is set during the product creation. We have seen this one already, and the entities are used to store product family and attribute group. So attribute group is the sub group inside the attribute family. We'll see it. Both these entities stored in the entity config bundle. Let us have a look at the product family page and see how it's organized. Product families are managed from the management console. Here we have product family section. We have only one family, and let's have a look at it. Here we have groups. So these general inventory, image, product prices, and SEO are just groups of product attributes, and they actually called attribute groups. And here on the right side, we see the list of the attributes or list of the parameters which are used by the application, and they are grouped using the attribute groups. In edit page, we can move attributes between the groups. For example, here I have two custom attributes called color and material. I can either add or remove them. There are multiple options like label visible for the groups. For example, we can show or do not show some groups on the storefront based on our preferences. For example, we are not showing SEO because it must not be shown. We are not showing also inventory because of this information. But at the same time, we are showing the image and we are showing product prices because this is an important information for the storefront users. Talking about the product attributes. So product attributes, as we have already discussed, represent product parameters. So the size, the color, the resolution, the metrics, the name, the vendor, all these things are product attributes. And product attributes, they have to, in order to use product attributes, they have to be added to the appropriate product family, and only then you can use them. Some product attributes may be shared between the different families, and it's absolutely fine because, for example, all product attributes have name, all product attributes have vendor, but for example, TVs have resolution and matrix, while t-shirts have size and color. Number of attributes is unlimited. You may add as many attributes as you want, with the couple minor restrictions because they added as an extended fields. It means that they will be added in most cases as a new column or as a new column in the CRS fields. So if you're going to have quite a lot of such attributes, query database may become slow. So you have to think about such things in advance. Product attributes have several options. These are searchable, filterable, and sortable. And to demonstrate them, I have to go to the management console and show you how they look like. List of product attributes is managed under the product attributes menu item, and here we can see all our attributes. I have most of them are system, but I have added manually two of them as a custom. This is the color and the material, which were used for our configurable products, and let's have a look at them. So this is the attribute with the type select, because I have created it like that. And here we can see the standard options. For example, in our case, we have colors, white, gray, silver, and black. And here we have several front-end options. Searchable means that we will be able to find a product using the value of this option. Filterable, it means that if product listing page has at least one product of this type, there will be a filter for this attribute. Sortable, it means that we can sort by this field. Doesn't make for the color, but for example, it makes sense for the SKU. And we can also specify how it will be filtered, whether it's enabled, whether it's visible, and so on. And these are standard backend option configuration we have already seen in scope of the Oro platform training, where they tell us how to render it in the management console. Let's have a look at this attribute at the storefront now. Let me go to the page identification. Here we can see our product, and pay attention that we have a filter by color, so we can filter our products, and we also can see how many products with each color we have in our application in this specific page. And if I click it, I will be able to see it. In order to demonstrate it properly, I will enable product attributes, product variants on the storefront. configurable product, show display variations everywhere. And now we again see our 4 products, 1 main, 1 and 3 variants. And if I filter, let's say, for gray, I can see my main product because it contains the product variant, and I also can see medical tag, which is the variant, which has color gray. And pay attention that we also have changed, the application also have changed numbers here. Now we have 2, 2, and 2 because we have 2 products which match each of these filters. Sorting can be set here. We have SKU set as sortable. For example, we can sort by the SKU low to high, tag 1, tag 2, tag 3, tag configurable, or vice versa. We can sort by name, we can sort by price, and if you have some custom attributes, we can add them here too and use the sorting by them. And finally, we have a searchable option. For example, if I put here word gray, as you can see, application still able to find medical tag and medical tag sterile rhodium plated products, despite the fact that it does not have a gray word somewhere in the descriptions. But there is also another product which contains word gray in description, and this is why it's shown here. Okay, so that's all for the products we have for now. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Let me answer the questions, and then we'll move on and discuss the master catalog. Here's the first question. How do you use unit of measure when these have different SKU? Item SKU1, box SKU 111, and so on. So items make sense only if you are selling the same product, same SKU in different forms or in different units. So for example, one box of something and one bottle of something may have the same SKU. If they have different SKU, they have to be different products, obviously, and then each product has to have its own unit, and probably only one unit if you're doing like that. But again, multiple units of measure make sense only if you are selling the same product in different, let's say, packages under the same SKU. How do we allow to display pictures from the simple variant in a variant? Example, to simple product in the green and blue with associated pictures. We create variant, picture must change when we choose a color in the drop down. Good point. In Oro, we are showing only the images from the parent or from the configurable product. So if we'll go here, we can see that we have no image for the tags, but at the same time, we have image for the configurable product. But even if though variants would have the image, they will not appear here because configurable product has its own set of images. And it will not be shown here, even if you will select this configuration. You may change it as a developer by adding binary configuration. With the variants on, I noticed in the example, the image doesn't carry through automatically. Is that setting? I'm not sure what do you mean here, but I guess you're asking whether we are allowing or not allowing to show the images from the variant in the configurable product, and no, we're not showing it by default. And let me show you again that by default, only parent product has an image and child products do not have images, and it's just because they don't have images. If you will add the image, they will appear here for the appropriate product. In the case of products that don't have a price set, is it possible to add them to the shopping cart and later get a quote from the store managers? Yes, we will go and discuss it in scope of the RFQ topic. But short answer is yes. Is there any workflow predefined for the checkout of products without price? It's a separate topic we have to discuss. We'll discuss in the scope of the pricing and checkout. But by default, you cannot order a product without a price. You can submit an RFQ for it. The administrator can process it, set a quote to you. In this quote, you will have the specific price, and only then you will be able to start checkout and finally buy it. Are products attributes the same as fields? Yes. I was told not to add fields from the admin. Does that apply to the attributes too? You can add fields from the admin, you can add attributes from the admin, but in this case, you have to be aware that neither of these attributes will be available on the code level. So on the code, you have to just know exactly how they code, and that is why it's not really easy to work with them from the code level. Can you create product bundles, like pick one from groups of products, laptop configuration, select screen size, RAM, storage, then add to cart? No, not yet. We do not have a bundled product out of the box. Is it simple to automatically import products and their image, for example, having ACS to all of the options in the admin UI? Talking about the imports, yes, we do have built-in import for the products and product images. You can see it here. We have the import for the products. We have the import for the product images. We also have import for the related products and price attribute data if you really want to. But in general, out of the box, we are providing import export for products and product images here. And of course, you can run them not only from UI, but also from the command line. Is there any documentation for the initial massive load of products in the database? If not, which tables attributes must be filled? Talking about the default values, you may see all the default or all the required configuration options on the create page. In fact, we are requiring only a couple of them. So we have SKU, we have name, we have unit of quantity, and I think that's it. Everything else has predefined values, so this is the minimum amount of value you have to, the number of values you have to specify. Everything else can be set and defined automatically by the application. But again, it's recommended to specify them in order to have a better user experience on the storefront anyway. Talking about tables, this is a table called OroProduct, and pretty much all the tables from the product bundle. Let me show it. OroProduct bundle. So here we have the product, here we have brand, here we have product image type, product unit, which tell us which unit can be used for each product. Product unit precision, which tells us which precision and whether they are sellable or not. And product variant links, which connects a configurable product with the simple variant. Can a variant be created on unit of measure attribute? No, you have to have an actual product attribute for that. Did you say that the filter by variant attribute displays product as well as the corresponding SKU? Filter allows you only to limit products you have on the storefront. Let me show it again. So here we have a filter by color, and by doing that, you're simply decreasing list of products or decreasing number of products you are showing on this page. But by default, yeah, they're also showing you the SKU if you're asking about that. So here you have item number, and this is basically the SKU. Okay, looks like we have no more questions for now, and then let us continue. Can we configure gift cards? Yes, we can. We're going to check it in scope of the promotions and discount topics. Okay, so let's continue. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the master catalog. So master catalog is the first and the most obvious structure you should use in the OroCommerce in order to group your products or put the products in the appropriate structure inside appropriate category structure. Master catalog represents main category tree structure. You will see later why I'm talking main, because also there is a secondary. Product can be assigned to only one category in master catalogs and allows you to configure several options on the master catalog level. So you may configure default product options, like for example, unit of measure. You can configure visibility, you can configure SEO, and by default, master catalog is used to build a menu. On the code level, master catalog is using get nested tree structure. So this is a popular library to build trees for the Symfony. And the entity which stores master catalog called OroCatalog bundle category. Let's have a look what is master catalog and how to use it. So first, let us go to the product master catalog section. And here on the left side, you can see the category. We have already seen this list when we have looked at the product listing page. So just let me remind you here the same filter. And now we are able to actually work with this structure in order to add new categories, remove categories, move categories, and specify some other parameters. So what we can set here, we can set the category title, it's localizable. Again, we can set the slug, and it's also localizable. We can associate a small or large image for the category. We can set description for the category, both short and long description, exactly as for the products, and they're also localizable. You can associate a product directly here, or you can change the association on the product sites. There is no difference because it's the same relation. You have default product options here. For example, here we have default unit of quantity. You have also multiple inventory options here. We're going to check them in scope of the inventory topic. For now, we can just know that they can be set on this level. And for all products in this category, these options will be used as the fallback option. So let's say nobody has specified the manage inventory option for the product. It means that it will be falled back to the value in this master catalog category. And this works for all the options specified here. You may also have a visibility here, and this is a place where we're going to check how visibility looks like. So visibility can be set either for all, it means for all websites, for all the customers, and can be hidden visible or may fall back to the parent category or the config value. You may set visibility per customer group. So it means that this master catalog category will be visible only to the specific customer group. Let's say to all customers, non-authenticated visitors, partners, and so on. And again, here we have several options. We can fall back to the visibility tool, we can fall back to the parent category, and we can make it strictly hidden or strictly visible. And the same can be done for the customers. So you can set visibility for a specific customer. By default, it falls back to the customer group. In customer group, it's back to the global visibility, but you can change it and make it hidden or visible for a specific customer if you want to. Pay attention that default product visibility will be falled back to these values too. And finally, we have SEO fields, which can be used on the storefront too. We have meta title, meta description, and meta keywords. If you want to add subcategory, you can create subcategory button and you see it, and that's it. If you want to change the category relation on the product level, you can simply go to the appropriate product, edit it, and here in the master catalog section, you can select different product. You can associate this product to a different category. All this tree is available here, and we also have a quick search. So if you have really big trees, this is a convenient tool which allows you to find the appropriate master catalog faster. Now the SEO. We have already quickly have a look at the SEO fields, but in general, both master catalog and web catalog have three options. They have meta title, they have meta keywords, and they have meta descriptions. And all of these values are rendered just a plain meta text at the appropriate page at the storefront. It's searchable, so it means that, for example, if you specify the keywords, you will be able to find the product using these keywords, and all this meta information is added as extended fields through the OroSEO bundle. Let's check how it works, and let's try to play with them a little bit. So let me go to some product. Actually, let's use this tag configurable if it's already opened here. Let me go to the SEO section, and let's say I want to have a special keyword treat. For example, let's say it will be some kind of internal identifier, which has to be used by SEO, but must not be rendered anywhere at the storefront. Let's say it will be like that. And we can also specify a meta title, meta tag SEO, and we can also specify a description, meta tag SEO description. Again, all these options are localizable, so you may set it different for different localizations. Let us save it. Now let's go to the appropriate page at the storefront and see what is going on. So we need to go and try to find the appropriate meta tags, because as we have seen, it used them by default. Okay, and where it is? Yeah, so here they are. So here we have meta title, we have meta description, and we have meta keywords. And as you can see, we have them set as an appropriate, with appropriate name, title, description, or keywords, and they have appropriate content. We have specified management consoles. They are searchable. So if I'll try to search using this keyword, as you can see, I am able to find my product using this keyword. It's very convenient because it allows you to easily customize your search behavior without changing the visual representation of your product. Then we have visibility for the product and visibility for the category. There are several values which you can set there. You can mark them obviously as visible or hidden. And there are many fallbacks which you can use in order to fall back to the value from the category. Most commonly used fallbacks are fallback to the customer group from customer and website to from customer group, which available and website level is available only on the products and only in the enterprise version. And another common fallback is fallback from the product visibility to the category visibility. So by default, visibility of product defined by the visibility of the category. So if you will hide the category, products won't be visible. If you will hide them, they will not be visible. Let us try to play a little bit with these features. So let's say I have my tags, and all my tags, as I remember, belong to one product called page identification. Yeah, so here they are. And let me see if I actually will be able to see these products here. Here I have page identification, and I see my 4 products, which is great. And what I can do now, I can now go to the master catalog and make this category hidden. Identification, here it is. And now I'm going to the visibility section and make it hidden here. Okay, data was changed, so category should disappear from the menu immediately. So here we longer see this information. And if we will also try to search a product, as you can see, we would not longer see any tags. We only can find the product from some kind of different category, which is not our medical tag. And now let me return the state, jumps to the previous state, make it visible, save. And now all these tags are visible here again, and we can also see patient identification menu item here. So by default, menu is built based on the master catalog structure, as you can see here, and we also have additional items from the appropriate menu, either the global or the website level. Talking about the product visibility can be set from the product page. Here we can see manage visibility section. Here we have multiple customer group. Here we can first specify visibility per website. So these default US Australia are websites I have set currently. Here we have visibility to the all, which is fallback to the category, that is why when we're changing visibility of the category, it automatically changes visibility for the product. We have visibility per customer group and per customer. So for example, I can make some product appear or disappear for a specific customer. And for example, here we have headlamp test. And my current customer is company A. I want to call belong to the company A. And what I can do now, I can make it hidden for this specific customer. Let me save. Okay, product is saved. And let me try to find this product again. Headlamp or the headlamp test. Let's use SKU. So product cannot be found. And if I will sign out, I can see this product. And of course, you can do vice versa. For example, you can make product visible only for some customer, but not for the others. And this is what you can do using this visibility section. If you want to have a look at how visibility really works, you can always go to the documentation. It's highly recommended to check the structure. So this arrow shows all the default fallbacks, while third arrow shows optional fallbacks, which you can enable and disable in order to understand how it actually works. In the very end, both visibilities are fallback either to the master catalog visibility in system configuration or product visibility also in system configuration. Let us check these options. Visibility, and both of them visible by default. It's also important to set correct default visibility, because if, for example, most of your products are visible, you have to set these options to visible. And if most of your products are hidden, you should set both these options to hidden. Then we have website search questions. So in scope of the Oro platform training, you should be able to see how works search on the management console. And now we have a separate section for the front store, which is called website search. So it stores in a different search index, sometimes referred to storefront or front-end index search type, and allows to use search on the front end. Data is stored by websites. It means that each website has its own index. Supports multiple entities. By default, only product is used, but you may add more entities. And supports both synchronous and asynchronous indexation, exactly like the search in the management console. Unlike the search in the management console, here search is event-based. It does not work automatically based on the configuration. And data is held using the listeners and batches. Configuration, though, is stored in the very similar structure as the management console configuration. So here we can also see the entity, we can see the alias, and we can see all the fields which will be passed to the website search index. This field can be used there in order to tell application which field has to be available in the search. Website search has also a feature called placeholder, which allows you to build queries or build universal queries, no matter what is the current website, current localization, and so on. For example, if we're talking about the localizable values, let's say name, in fact, they are stored as a field called name_localization ID. So in technical index, you will see name_1, name_2, name_3. But because you do not always know what's the current localization, in your query, you can use name_localization ID, and it will be replaced by the appropriate ID automatically by the applications. The command line to work with the website search index, to trigger website search indexation called or website search index, and you have multiple options there. You may specify the specific website, specify specific products, and so on. And you can also specify flag schedule to make it asynchronous. Again, like the management console search, it supports both ORM and Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch only in the enterprise version. And if you want to have a look at website search bundle, feel free to do it. There is quite a lot of information here. And here we have a documentation about that. So here you may see how index worked, how it's structured, what kind of data we have in the index. For example, here we have example of one index documents and information about how to work with them, what events are there, and so on and so on. Then another thing I would like to talk about is the product's data grid. So product data grid or product listing is the most common page on the storefront page, which represents a list of the products. It is website search based, so it's not getting data from the search not getting data from database. It's getting data from the search index, and it's one of the most commonly customized grid, and we have several ways how to customize it. So you may add data directly to the website search index, either manually or via some kind of listeners or via other attributes, and then you can use them there in this grid. Let's say I want to render additional field in this grid, and I do not want to get data to get it from database. So you can add to the search index and then render the drop grade grid. And the second way, you can mix data from other sources. So technically, every time you're looking at the front-end grid, let me pick something better than this one. Yeah, let's say this one. You're technically seeing data both from the search index and the database. So let's say name, SKU, and description are coming from the search index, while pricing and list of the shopping lists is coming from database. Why does it work so? The main requirement for us and for our customers to show prices in real time, orders in real time, and shopping lists in real time. That is why we're extracting it from the database, while information like name and SKU and description is sort of stable. We may be okay to wait for a couple of seconds while it will be refreshed, and that is why we're getting in from the search index. In fact, all the filters and all the sorters works also on the search index levels, and they do not trigger any requests to the database. Talking about actual example of the customization, here we have it. Here we have a listener from the shopping list bundle, which is adding list of the shopping lists to the products grid. So what does it do? It simply gets a list of the products on this current page. So here we have a list of the products on this page. It gets a shopping list for these products and adds appropriate items to the grid, the products grid. So then later you can render them, application can render them at the storefront. It works exactly the same like that for prices, for some inventory options, and some other options which you may see on the data grid, product data grid at the storefront. And now we have best practices. So best practices is sort of the list of the mistakes we did, and we are not recommending you to follow this approach, and that's why we're recommending you to use it properly. When you are adding or importing your product attributes, please add them with all the flags at the very beginning if it's possible. But the problem here is every time you are adding some attribute or changing configuration, it may require reindexation, and it will in fact require full reindexation, so reindexation of all catalog, which can be quite a long process. Again, if you have hundreds of thousands of products, it's all right, but if you have millions, it may not be appropriate, and you have to wait several hours in order to finish, which is maybe an issue. If you're planning to use single unit mode, you have to enable it from the very beginning. This one we have already talked about. If you want to use product attribute for product, you have to add it to the product family first. So this is the restriction, because we are allowing only to use products associated to the appropriate family. Changing of the product family for product is highly unrecommended. In fact, you cannot do that from UI, but you can do it from the code level. The main reason why it's not recommended is because when you are changing the family, you also have to change a value of all the attributes. And if you're doing that, you have to make sure that data is valid and data is consistent, which may be an issue in some cases. There are several ways how you can add new fields to the product's front-end grid. You may add to the search index, which we have already discussed, and add them to the grid, or you can add it directly from database using the result after event. This is how the list of the shopping lists is added to that grid. And that's all about the products and master catalogs. Let's check the list of the questions. And we have a question. Do categories use EAV? Can we add custom attributes? Categories is just a structure they do not use EAV as, for example, Magenta, but they have a separate tables for each of the attributes. For example, sorry, for each of the parameters. For example, we have a separate table for titles, for the names and so on, but it's done only because we're using localized fallback value. Neither products nor categories use EAV as is. What master catalog is associated to website? What are custom catalogs use cases? Master catalog is the main or the only catalog you have in your application in scope of one organization. So if you have multiple organizations, you may switch between these multiple organizations. But if you have several websites inside the same organizations, both these websites will use the same master catalog structure. If you want to customize, let's say, the menu for your different websites, you have to use web catalogs, and this will be our next topic. Can we index content page on product content and display on search? Yes, you can. You have to add appropriate configuration to the website search URL. You have to add a listener to populate the search index, and then you have to create a page where you will render list of your entities, let's say brands or CMS pages or maybe some other entities. Okay, looks like we have no more questions for now. Let's have a break, let's say 10 minutes break, and then we'll continue with our next topic, which will be web catalogs. Okay, let us continue. Looks like we have no more questions in chats. So our next topic is web catalogs. So as couple of topic, we're going to check what are web catalogs, how they differ from the master catalogs, what kind of custom features you have there, and how to assign them to different websites. So web catalog is mainly a content management tool. It allows you to organize the structure of the content on your websites. It allows you to have highly personalized custom version of your websites, which can be different for the different localization, different website, different customer group, and different customers. In the web catalog, you may have a mix of different types of contents. By default, OroCommerce supports 5 types of content. These are category pages, product pages, landing page, pre-existing page, and product collections. And because of that, it provides you an improved purchasing experience because you can show customer exactly what you want and tell him to use appropriate pages for the appropriate purposes. Web catalog is also a content tree like master catalog, and it also can be used to categorize products. However, unlike the master catalogs, products in web catalogs can be assigned to many nodes. And pay attention, that is not a product to the many categories relation. It's a totally different way of relation which uses segments. Talking about the entities, we have bundle called Web Catalog bundle, which contains entity web catalog, content node, and content variant. Let's have a quick look on the web catalog and see how it's configured. Web catalogs are available on the marketing web catalogs menu, and here we can see this catalog. On this page, you see pretty much anything except for the owner and name and simple description. The main information is stored in the content tree. And the content tree section is the section where you can manage the structure of the web catalog. As you can see, it's similar to the master catalog, but there are several differences here. So first, the content of the web catalog and what you can put there. We also have here a title, and we can also rewrite variant title just in case we have several, we have option from the content variant. We have also SEO fields, again, the same options, title, description, and meta keywords. We have restriction, which allows us to show this category or show this web catalog to only specific group of customers. We have content variants, which tells us what kind of variants we can see here, and we have additional section for the activities. As you can see here on the left side, we can see the structure of the web catalog, and in different nodes, we can see different type of the content. For all nodes except for the root, we also can specify the URL slug. And talking about restrictions, we can inherit them from the parent node, or we can put them manually. We're going to check all these sections step by step in scope of this topic in a couple of minutes. Talking about the web catalogs and relation to the websites. Each website may have only one web catalog assigned via the website configuration. And if we're talking about the enterprise version, you may have many websites and many web catalogs, while in the community edition, you may have many web catalogs, but only one website. So you cannot use multiple web catalogs simultaneously. And yes, you may assign web catalog to the same web catalog to different websites, just because it may suit your needs. Web catalog is used to build a menu instead of the master catalog, but only if it is specified. So if you have it, it will use it as a as a menu. If you don't have it, application will use master catalog to build a main menu. And there are also a couple of options, additional options like navigation route. Let us see how it works. So first, let us go to the system configuration for the specific website. I will use default one. And here in the routing section, we can see an option called web catalog, where we can specify which web catalog we want to use for this specific website. I want to use default web catalog. And yes, please. Yep. So we have it, and now we also have a new option called navigation route. Navigation route allows us to tell which node from the navigation route will be used in the menu. By default, we have, in this specific web catalog, we have navigation route node, but in fact, I can put it, let's say, to products. And it means that I will be able to see elements by category, by brand, and clearance in my menu. So let us try. Okay, web category, system configuration saved. I just go to the storefront and see how it looks like. And yeah, now we have products, new arrivals, clearance, and metal. Products, I think this is it. So here we have products, new arrivals, clearance, and metal products. And if I will set navigation route to products, give me a second. Okay, I think I will need to check it after the training. And yeah, so here we have these elements, while on the other website, let's say European website, application uses master catalog instead of web catalog, because on that website we did not set a web catalog, and so we cannot use it there. Now let's have a look at the web catalog nodes. So the web catalog consists of the web catalog is a tree, and tree consists of the nodes. So each level, each node of each level simply will be converted to the appropriate menu element. So for example, here we can see first, second, and other new elements, which will be visible in the menu. So menu will contain the first level elements, and then it will show all other elements of all other levels inside. So here we can see products, and we have industrial, then we have medical, so this is the second level category, and we have a uniform, which is the third level category, and so on and so on. And so here you can see all these elements. Now the nodes itself. Nodes itself is just an entity from the web catalog bundle, which represents a node in the main web catalog tree. It has title, it has URL slug, it has restriction, it has variants, and it has SEO fields. We have seen this one already, but just let me remind you how it looks like. do that, we have to go to the web catalog menu, open a content tree, and pick some node. So here are all those options. Let's talk a little bit about the node restriction. So node restriction defines visibility of each specific node for the specific group of customers. And there we can set visibility for localization, for customer group, for customer. And if you're using enterprise version, you can also set it per website. This way you can customize the way web catalog looks like for each specific group of your customers. Let's try to change something there. So here we have, let's say, metal products, yeah. And I'm currently a not logged in customer. And for example, I want to say, let's say I want to show metal products only for the customer company A. And to do that, I have to uncheck inherit parent because I want to change it. I have to pick my customer here, it's the company A. Yep, sorry, wrong node. I need metal products. Company A. Let's save it. Okay, now application is going to rebuild the cache of web catalog. It may take a couple of seconds. And let us try to use it here and check if we, yeah, so now I do not have any metal products. That's why I have 404. And we do not have metal products here in the menu as well. But if I log in as somebody from the company A, let's say I'm on the call, I will be able to see my metal product section again. That's how you can set different nodes or different elements visible for the web catalog, visible for the different site. That's why you can set different elements in the web catalog visible to different customers, customer groups, websites, or localizations. Then we have web catalog variants. Web catalog variant represent the content visible for the specific user, and each node may have multiple variants. And let's say you have the same URL, but you want to say you want to show, let's say, the product X for one customer, the product Y for other customer, and some kind of landing page for all other people. So this is what you can do using the content variants or catalog variants. Let's try to set something for this specific node too. Let us go to the management console. Again, I need to use my web catalog content tree. I will use the same metal products. I will just uncheck the restriction here. And here in the content variant section, we have multiple variants. So let's say by default, it will be product collection we see right now. But for the customer A, I'm going to show there a special product. Let's say I want to show there the handheld flashlight. And here I see a restriction, but this is restriction not on the node level, but on the variant level. And here I can say who can or who will be able to see this product. I'm going to the same customer, it's a company A. We may have multiple restrictions here, and pay attention to this radio button. We may switch the default variant. By switching default variant, you are telling which variant will be used as a fallback if none of the restrictions matched and application was able to find any content variant. In this case, the default variant will be used. Okay, let us try. So now, if I am a customer from company A and I go to the storefront, I can see here under the metal products, I see my product called 2GD29 and pay attention that it's also using the title from the element. If I do not want to allow that, I can uncheck the rewrite variant title checkbox here. Let me do it. And now, as you can see, I see the title handheld flashlight. So web catalog may override standard title of a page and replace it with something else. And if I will sign out and click on my top products, I'm going to see exactly the same grid it was before, because this is a default variance and my current user does not belong to the company A. That is why I'm seeing this list here. Talking about the content web catalog variants, now we are going to check step by step all types of the possible variants here, and we have 5 out of the box. This is the system page, product collection, category, landing page, and you as developer might even create your own. This documentation tells you how to do that. So let me try to create a new node, and I'm going to use it there. So let's say I want to create a new node. Let me call it favorite products. Slack generated automatically. And now I have to put some content variant there. So let us start from the first content variant called system page. System page is just a reference to the existing page defined on the backend side or defined on the code level, and you can simply refer to it. So basically it's just specifying a front-end route without any parameters with front-end true set. By default, it uses only Oro routes, so routes started with Oro, but you may also change this and put something else instead. So this is where this your expression is set. So let's try to do it. So I need to add here system page variant, and I have to specify the page I want to see there. So pay attention, we also have here a route, so I can render a route as a part of some other variant. But instead I'm going to use something else. Let's say I want to see my order history. And here we have favorite products, here we have order history. Yep, let's try to do it. Okay, new element set. Let me refresh the page. Here we have our favorite product element, but because I am not logged in and the order history requires me to be logged in, I can see here login page instead of the favorite product. So let me log in instead. And now, when I'm clicking favorite products, I'm in fact seeing my order history instead of the login page. Okay, the next variant is a product page variant. So this is a variant where we can show specific product, and that's will be it. We have seen this one already, but just in case, let me demonstrate to you again. I'm going to remove this variant and replace it with the product page. And now let's use something else. Let's use, for example, credit card PIN page reader. Again, I'm not going to override title because I want to show the actual title of this product. Saved. Refresh, and yeah, now we can see this credit card PIN reader. And if I click on it, it's still here. Next variant we have is a product collection. So this is a place where I can render custom list of the products which does not match any category in the master catalog or web catalog. So what I have to do here, I have to create a special segment and pretty much use it there in order to specify a list of products I want to show. How does it look like? Let us see. So here we have a product collection. I'm going to specify the segment name if I want to. Let's say FAVProd. And then I can specify a special condition which has to be satisfied in order for it to be shown there. And let us say I want to see all featured products. So is featured, yes. I can preview results and see here I can see 10 results. And I can also manually exclude or include products to this collection. And let us say that in addition to those 10 products, I can also want to see there my headlamp test product. And now we can see 11 products, which should be visible at this product collection. Let me say this variant. It will take some time to reindex, but I hope not that long. And let us try to check it. Okay, so here we are. I seeing only 10 products, and I seeing on 10 products because one of the product was hidden. Let me check it. I think it was the headlamp test, which was hidden for this customer. Manage inventory. Yeah, so it's hidden for company A. Let me make it visible again. Yeah, and now I'm seeing those 11 products we have specified in that segment for the product collection. So this is how you can manually specify what kind of products or list of products you want to see in each node of your web catalog. The next type of the variant called category variant. In here, we are simply referring to the existing catalog, and we are allowing to use master catalog category instead of the creating predefined collection or predefined segment. Let us have a look how it looks like. I'm going to remove this one and add new category type content variant. And here I can specify the specific category I want to show. Let's say I want to see there are the lighting products, and pay attention to this option. So we may either include all subcategories or include all products from subcategories and show additional filter on the storefront page. This is the most common use case. And sometimes customers prefer do not show embedded products and show only lighting products without architecture of lighting or headlamps. In this case, the do not include option has to be set. Let us try first with the show as filter. Let me check it. Favorite products. Favorite products. Yeah. So now we see in 16 products from that master catalog category, and we also see a special filter called filter by subcategories, where we can show or hide some products. So pay attention, we have 4 products plus 5 products in subcategories, so we have 9 products in total, while we have 16 products on the main page. It means that we have 7 products in the category itself, and then 9 products in the embedded categories. So now, if I will disable that option in the variant configuration and tell not include, application should render only 9 products instead of, oh, sorry, 7, my mistake. It should render 7 products instead of the 16. And here we will see no filter because all these products belong directly to the lighting products, but not to the architecture for lighting and not to the headlamps. And the final type of the content is the landing page or CMS page content, which renders standing landing page or CMS page. Again, it does not have any parameters. Let's check it. So here we have add landing page option, and we may specify what exact page we want to see here. We have a couple of predefined pages from demo data. So let me pick it. Here it is. And let me try to refresh the page, and we see it here. Just in case, a list of landing page available here under the marketing sections, and you may manage them from the management console too. So here are all those pages. Now let's talk a little bit about the difference between the master catalog and web catalog. So you may have only one instance of the master catalog per organization, while you may have many web catalogs per the organization. You may have product may belong to only one category in the master catalog, and it may belong to the multiple categories in the web catalog using that product collection variant or using that category type variant. Visibility restrictions from web catalog affects the products, while visibility restrictions from the web catalog do not affect the products. Pay attention here that if you will not show product in any of the node in the web catalogs, user still will be able to find via the global search as product is still technically visible to him. And if you're talking about the value fallbacks, like for example, for the inventory or for the unit, fallback from the product goes to the master catalog, but not to the web catalog. Talking about the customization of web catalog, here we have a couple of tips and tricks which you as a developer can use to use them and to customize how your web catalogs look like. We already talked a little bit about it yesterday, but let me remind you that we have a special web catalog context configurator, which always add ID of a current web catalog to the context. So you can simply create a new layout update with the condition web catalog ID equals X. In this case, your layout update will work only for a specific web catalog. Menus also have this kind of restriction. So here we see context of catalog ID not equals null. It means that the application is going to use or going to render a web catalog menu instead of the master catalog menu. If you want to get a current variant, you may use a special variable in the request called _content variant. And this is a place where this variable is set. So here you can see how you can get it, and here you can see how to set it. In other words, if you want to write some kind of listener and you do not, and listener has to work with web catalog, but you do not know how to get the current one, how to get current variant, you can always get the request and get _content variant valuable from the attributes parameters back. And for example, breadcrumbs using exactly this approach in order to render correct breadcrumbs. So here we have get content variant, and it's simply using it there. And just in case, here the user guide with multiple examples how to work with web catalogs and how to create different type of content. Feel free to use it. And finally, the best practices about the web catalog. So when you have a choice between the web catalog and the master catalog, you have to have really good understanding of what exactly do you want to do and how it has to work. So if you have only one structure for everybody in scope of the same organization, master catalog can be the better choice because you first, you do not care about the multiple assignments. Second, you do not care about the visibility between the master catalog and web catalog. And you also have to maintain only one structure instead of maintaining multiple structures. On the other hand, if you in fact need multiple websites with the totally different structure and you need to somehow customize them and show not only products, but also landing pages and so on, then the web catalog will be the better choice. Not use web catalog product collection with big product sets. You may have a performance issue. If you in fact need such cases, it's better to map some master catalog categories to web catalog or even create the custom content variant. And that's it for today. That's it about the web catalog topic. Let's check the questions in chat. Where do you restrict product visibility for a website? Product visibility for website can be restricted on the product level. Let me show you that again. For example, we can go here, we can find appropriate product. Click here, manage visibility. So first, let me show you that this product is currently visible. Yep, so we can find it here. We can always go to the European website and try to find it there too. Yep, so this product is shared between two websites in the same organization, here and here. And I can hide it only for one of the websites, and I have to do that on this page. And global visibility is handled by this visibility to all options. Just set it to the hidden, save it. Okay, I think it's still reindexing. Let us wait a second. Manage visibility, yes, please. Okay, default is hidden. Okay, so it looks like my consumer has stuck. I need to check it. But the main idea that you have to set it on this level, and then it can be said, oh, I see why it's a problem, because I have here visibility set to hidden, while in the same time I have it set as a visible for the current customer. And because the priority of visibility for customer has visibility for customer has higher priority than visibility for website, that is why it's visible. I need to fall back to the default value with the customer group. Okay, saved. Yeah, now it's hidden on the default website, but it's still visible on the European website. This is how you can set visibility per website. I do not see any other questions at the moment, and then that's it. Thank you very much, guys. So let me remind you that today we have completed product and catalogs and web catalog topics. And next week, next Tuesday, we're going to talk about the product pricing. This is a very interesting topic, and it covers quite a lot of business use cases too. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day, and bye.